Hey everyone, Irix Guy here. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how to make the perfect steak. Now in today's scenario, I'm cooking a sirloin, actually some sirloin steaks. They're just 6 ounces, but I got them from omahasteaks.com, so they arrive frozen. And here's what I did to prepare everything. Now this is in an airtight container, and actually these were put in the container yesterday. The steaks were frozen when I did that. And what I did, and you can use whatever marinade you want to, but I've really enjoyed putting, and if that looks kind of green and white and gooey, actually what that is olive oil. So on the frozen steaks, I put a generous portion of olive oil on top, and then I cover that with a salt, pepper, and garlic blend. Salt, pepper, and garlic's about all you'll need for to bring out that flavor in the steak. So that's what you're seeing there. These are of course thawed. They set in my fridge with the marinade preparation on top overnight with an airtight cover. Now, the airtight cover is important because if you just left these in your fridge overnight to marinate and they weren't covered tightly, it's going to make the meat tough. Now, another preparatory thing that I do, this right here is a glass, and it's got hickory wood chips in it. Now, unlike smoking barbecue ribs where you just want to continue to hit it with hickory for several hours, a steak's a really fast cooking process. So I'm going to put those in there just to enhance the flavor a little bit. These you can get at your grocery store, just in a bag, usually where charcoal is. A bunch of different brands, it doesn't matter. It's just hickory chips. And one thing I always use for my steaks is an instant light charcoal. For my smoking, my slow cooking that I do for ribs and pork chops and chicken, I like to use regular charcoal, light it up in a chimney, and use that. For my experience, this match light type charcoal, instant light charcoal, tends to burn up faster. But for steaks, it's what I prefer. And as we're about to see when I take the camera out to the grill with me, this is great because you can have a flame going while you're cooking, and that flame, as we'll demonstrate here in a minute, is really going to help to sear rather, the outside of the steak and really seal in those flavors. So without further ado, let's go ahead and migrate to the grilling area. Okay, so we're outside of the grilling area. Now today, oh, and as you can see, and you can check out my other YouTube video, this is my grill that's a few years old that I put that Rust-Oleum on and painted it to make it look really cool. But since we're not smoking on the grill today, all that I'm going to do, I'm going to clean out the main area here. Just make sure these grates are nice and clean. And then what we're going to do after that is take them off. Most grills, and all grills are different, but they come with this little thing. You can lift the grates up. Now if I was using my chimney for charcoal, for non-lighter fluid added charcoal, I would start that on my pavement area, and then I would dump the coals in here once they were ready to cook. But since for today we're using instant light charcoal, I'm just going to put those on there, and we're going to get started with this process here. So here we go. That wasn't a full bag. I'd already used this before, so that's why, if you were wondering why that's all the coal that was in there. Some of it had already been burned up. Always want to place these, if you're dealing with instant light, kind of place them in a pyramid type shape. And then just get your lighter and light it up. One thing I usually do, I'll light it from multiple edges. Okay, so we're going to let that burn a little bit. One thing that I always do, I put my grates while the coals are getting to going. I'll put them on top of the burning charcoal, just kind of let it burn off. So we'll just kind of let that sit there. We're going to start cooking the steak while these are still flaming, but we want them to all be going good first. So I'm going to pause this camera, and I'm going to come back when we're ready to start cooking. Okay, now the coals have been burning, and this time will vary, but they've been burning for about 6 minutes or so, and you can see they're starting to get gray on all the coals. So now's a good time to go ahead and prepare the hickory chips. So this is still in the water. Now I always let these soak for probably it's good to let them soak for at least 30 minutes, and what that does, it helps the wood to just kind of slowly smolder and give it that hickory flavor while it cooks instead of just burning up. So we're gonna put these on the coals. Be sure to dump that water out first, because you'll put your charcoal out if you're not careful. And this is important to go ahead as soon as you do that and start cooking. And as you can see, since these have set out of the fridge for a little bit, you're starting to see that olive oil look more like olive oil instead of frozen gunk, or chilled junk rather. So we got our grill grates on there, and we're going to put one of these on. And then I'm going to put the other one on. Now I like my steak, I know it's kind of weird, but I like it more well done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put both on, but I'm going to sear one for a little bit and kind of put it off to the side. And the other one I'm going to keep more over the direct heat. What I always recommend doing when you got this leftover marinade, it's kind of sitting there, just pour it on there. No need to waste it, you know. And now we're going to, and so you can see that smoke coming up, and that smoke's from the hickory chips that are wet, so they're really getting that good smoky flavor in the steak. You want to let it sit here for a while, because the whole idea is that you want to sear the outside of your meat. Even if you like your steak less than well done, it's always a good idea to sear the outside. Just helps to trap in those flavors. And as you can see here, the olive oil is starting to turn back into more of a liquid, and it's just really coating that meat. Olive oil is kind of like margarine in a way. It'll give it give the steak a really nice buttery type flavor. Except olive oil is a lot better from a health perspective than butter or margarine. Not that it really matters, but some people are health conscious. So let's flip this over here. The one on the right is going to be my steak that's not the well done one. One on the left will be well done. So I mean, that's how to grill a steak in a nutshell. I mean, I've been doing this for, oh geez, about 25 years or so, and they always turn out great. And you can play with different marinades. This is just one of many examples. And if you want it really basic, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't really care to marinate that much, and really all you need, you just get some salt and pepper. That in itself was a good marinade. Something else I recommend is getting some salt and pepper in Worcestershire and letting it marinate with that. Always, even if the steaks are not frozen, if they're store-bought fresh steaks, I always like to marinate them and let them sit in the fridge overnight. It just really helps to add that extra flavor to the meat. But we're going to flip this over here, and you'll see from the high heat how that olive oil and marinade kind of just stuck to it, and that's what I wanted. And I'll just continue to cook these to my degree of doneness, which in my case is going to be well done, and then my wife will be medium. So thanks for tuning in. Feel free to check out all my other videos on YouTube too, and if you'd like to share this video, I'd encourage that. feel free to share it on any of the social media, email, however you want to share it. And subscribe. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. More videos coming soon. Have